Okay, so I've done a video like this in the past where I recommended 2 apps for self-improvement, but for some reason in that one video I made, I left out probably the best app, and I guess it's because at the time I didn't really consider it a self-improvement app per se, because that's not necessarily quite what it is. It's just really, really useful in day-to-day life, and I think everybody could benefit from this, and it's even more beneficial when you use it for a self-improvement purpose. And the app is called Yuka. It's spelled Yuka, and if honestly, this is an app I would recommend literally everybody install. So for some apps, I'm like, oh, if you want to know this and you need an app for this, I'd recommend you get like anybody who breathes, lives, exists, drinks, eats should be using this app. And you might be asking, okay, so what does this app do? It's just this app with a weird name and a carrot as its logo. What does it do? Well, basically, it's an app on your phone, and it opens a camera and it allows you to scan any barcode of any item. So either food items or bathroom products. So think like soap, shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, stuff of the sort. Just generally stuff like that. Skincare products, yeah, just anything you might use in the bathroom. And you scan it, and the first thing you'll see is a score out of 100 that the product gets. And then at the bottom, it shows more specific details as to why it got that score. Now, I'll start with like more bathroom product type stuff because I think that's the more useful one, more useful than the food, but that's useful as well. So what it does is you scan it, and it analyzes every single ingredient and basically not ingredient, what is it called? Every component of that item, right? So if you're scanning a bar of like something, a soap's barcode, it shows you every single thing that is inside of that soap. And it basically assesses, is this stuff inside of your soap good? Like, is this good for you? Is it not good for you? And a long time ago, I watched a Hamza video about like, there's like endocrine disruptors inside every one of our products. Everything is toxic. There's so many toxic stuff inside of our products, whatever. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of like toxic stuff inside of the things I use and eat in my day-to-day life. How can I find these stuff? How can I find these endocrine disruptors? And turns out this app Yuka is perfect for that. Remember, it analyzes every single like item inside of your desired product, and it tells you, it's got this chemical, which is an endocrine disruptor. It's got this, which is a potential allergen. It's got this, which is like a potential carcinogen, which basically means cancer causing. And it's really, really interesting to know about this stuff. It's really interesting how it shows you what's inside your products and whether it's good or not. And this is also really helped me with shopping, right? Because sometimes I'm at a store and I want to buy something, like I want to buy a new facial cleanser or like some sort of face cream, right? And I'm looking through the products and I'm like, okay, I don't know which one of these is like the best. This one says natural on it, but like, what does natural mean? So I like to scan every single one of their barcodes with the app, and it shows me everything inside of it. And sometimes the scores are really surprising. Sometimes something will say, like totally natural, doesn't have this, doesn't have this, doesn't have this. And it turns out they've got a bunch of harmful stuff in there, and Yuka just totally exposes that, which I think is really amazing. So right now, all the products I have are generally with a high score. At least I try something. It's really hard. For example, it hates antiperspirant deodorants. It's fine with deodorant, it just doesn't like antiperspirant. But at some point, there's like not much you can do. I don't want to be sweating and like smelling terrible. But like with most things, I try to keep all of my products with a high score. Now, going on to food. With food, it goes it's kind of different. It shows how many calories, how much fat, saturated fat, I think it's how much protein, how much fiber. Like it lists out exact grams of protein and whatever inside of your food. It lists out all of its like details, which is really cool. And it also shows any harmful additives. So if it says 0 sugar, but it has some sort of harmful sweetener inside that's even worse than sugar. I hate when companies do that. But with Yuka, you can just see, it says, harmful like sweetener inside, and it shows you what it is and whatever, which is really cool, honestly. So one thing though, with all of these, I take the initial score you get with a grain of salt, especially with the food. Like sometimes it's like, oh, this is a lot of calories in it, right? But if let's say you're trying to bulk and you need a lot of calories, and other than that, it's a healthy food. Like it's a really healthy food. It's just got a lot of calories in it. I mean, Yuka doesn't like that it's very caloric, but for your purposes, you might have different needs, and I would more so look at the details and give it my own score, like in my head, and just use the details as a tool, and not so much look at the score when it comes to food. The score is still useful. Like I'll say it's like a good general idea, but I would say look at the components and then make the decision yourself, because Yuka does not know what your goals are, what your needs are. Maybe like you're low on sodium and you need something really salty. Like I don't know, like just making stuff up, but I don't like. Let's say that's the scenario, and you scan something, and Yuka's like, this is too salty, but in that specific scenario, you need that. So obviously, be aware of that. But other than that, this is just a amazing tool, and I would recommend everybody get the app right now. In fact, stop watching this video. It's over anyway. It's basically over. Go right now, download this app. I promise you, you won't regret it. And thanks for watching. See you next time.